So, like everyone out there, I'm excited for the new Deadpool game. But I've been looking around to see what people think about it, and everyone says it's going to be like Duke Nukem Forever. I can see why it's going to be like that in some ways, like the humor, for instance. I can see that, well, being the same. But what I see people saying the most is that Deadpool is going to be a flop like Duke Nukem Forever. Now, personally, I love Duke Nukem Forever. I'm not saying it's the best game out there. I'm not saying it's a perfect game, but to me, it's very enjoyable, and I usually go back to play it every once in a while. And well, I don't know why people complain about it that much. I mean, I understand that people expect more from Duke Nukem Forever. I mean, I did at first, but I think I still got my money's worth for it. And all right, for Duke Nukem Forever, what I see people complain about the most isn't really the gameplay or the story. It's mainly just because of the graphics. And I think that's a very stupid thing to complain about. I mean, how many past games are still played today even though they have bad graphics compared to today's games like Super Mario. That's one of the that's a timeless game and people still go back to play that. Or Pong, that one doesn't really have graphics at all, but people play that. So I don't see what the problem is with Duke Nukem. And as for the gameplay for Duke Nukem, I will admit it does take a while to get used to the controls, but you can get used to them. I mean, all right. Before I got Duke Nukem, I was playing Call of Duty Black Ops, and believe me, I really suck at that game. But after I played Duke Nukem Forever for a while, and went back to Black Ops, I guess it did something for my reflexes or something like that because I ended up doing way better than I used to. And story wise, Duke Nukem Forever, you don't really need a story. You're just a big tough guy that's gonna go kill some aliens. So what's not to like about that? And I also hear people complain about Duke's character, that he's not developed enough or he's too unrealistic or things like that. Now that I really like. I like that he's not like other characters. I like that he has his own personality and isn't a copy of all the other characters where they all are happy at one point but then something tragic happens and then they come back and they want revenge and on with that kind of thing. Now, the reason I would compare Duke Nukem Forever to Deadpool isn't because of graphics or gameplay or story. I would compare it to Duke Nukem because to me the new Deadpool game seems a little too good to be true at this time. So I have a feeling they might push back the date like they did with Duke Nukem. Now that's the only reason I would compare the two. And from what I've seen from the trailer, the Deadpool game looks fantastic. I have nothing to complain about it. It seems to capture Deadpool's character in a well, in a pretty good way. And also what I've seen people say about the trailer is that they're mainly complaining about how the game's going to be. Most of the things I've seen people say is that they're hoping it's open world, but I I have a feeling it's not going to be open world. But that just because it's not open world doesn't mean it can't be a good game. Like look at Spider-Man Edge of Time and Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. Not open world, but still pretty good game. So I have a feeling this will be the same way. And well, that's pretty much the only reason I would compare Duke to Deadpool, just how long it will take for it to come out and whether or not they'll push back dates. I don't think I'll complain about the Deadpool gameplay. I don't think I'll complain about the Deadpool story. I don't really care about that kind of stuff. As long as they get the character right, I'm fine. So, yeah, so everyone just. mm, Well, alright. If people keep putting their expectations real high, then they're going to be disappointed. For me, my expectations aren't really high and they're not really low, they're just average. So, I can't really be disappointed that much. And if it does end up being better than I thought it would be, then I'm real happy about that. But other people just want it to be the perfect game already. And I don't think that's going to happen at this point. If this game does good and if they end up making Deadpool 2, I have a feeling that could possibly be open world, but people will just have to give it time. Mm, Sadly, though, a lot of people aren't patient like that, but hopefully the majority of people will understand that. And, well, if anyone loves Deadpool, they should definitely get the game when it comes out, or at least rent it. And I, for one, am excited for whatever Duke Nukem game comes out next. Well, anyway, that's my thoughts. If any of you have any other thoughts, feel free to share.